because Donald Trump is not only the greatest president in the history of the United States, he's the greatest president in the history of the world, and he easily, hands down, won the election.
Stop the steal. We feel wholeheartedly that this election was not fair. It was illegal. There was a lot of fraud and illegal vote that was going on.
That we're here to stop the voting fraud. Trump obviously won this election.
Our elections have some fraud in it, and we want to make sure it's a fair election, that all legal votes are counted.
The election was fraud.
To stop the fraud and count every legal vote.
Stop the fraud of the voting, to mandate people vote.
I think it's obvious that there was some fraud that took place, and I think the data is showing that there was some definite mix-ups and changes to the vote counts.
Yes. This election is being stolen, and it's so obvious. You see what's happening in Pennsylvania, you see what's happening in Georgia, you see about the early calling in Arizona. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not fair.
We've been to many rallies in New Jersey. The numbers are just amazing numbers, which no other president in the United States has ever had. It doesn't make sense with how many votes actually were counted.
What's going on as far as the ballots and all these magical ballots appearing for Joe Biden.
I come from a state that is so corrupt. Our state, I worked a poll in a heavily Democratic 2 precincts. Trump won those 2 precincts 3-1. And yet in our state, after Election Day, they're trying to tell us that Joe Biden came back from it over 700,000 vote behind from Trump. And it's terrible, and the people know it.
They're trying to steal it from him. If you look, when we went to bed on election night, he was ahead in all the key states. Woke up on Wednesday and he was, behind. They found these votes magically.
There's no way that Biden won. So they had to, of course, rig the election for that to happen.
Yes, we think this election is rigged. I think it's fraud, and we can see it, and we can believe it. And because we come from the country where we know what it is to steal an election.
I honestly think this election has been rigged, and so I feel like because of all the voter fraud that has been found within the United States, we should take it upon seriously because our votes do count.
You need integrity in your elections, and I think it's very important to have safe and secure elections, and I think that we need to stand up for that kind of stuff.
And we just want honesty in government, and we feel that people should be able to vote and have an honest and fair election.
Need for a fair and transparent election process.
Because I support the truth, and the truth will be exposed.
And tell them we are very upset with how our election was ran. And we're going to identify the fraud and the thievery that occurred by the Democrats.
This is just a little outpouring of what the whole country feels right now, because this election, if it's not overturned, it was stolen, it was fraudulent.
It's a shame what's happened in this country.
And there's been a colossal election fraud committed against the American people.
Regardless if whoever wins, this is not correct.
You can't just steal the vote, and we're here to stop the steal.
We're going to support the prosecution of the people who tried to steal this election.
We came down here to support this going to the Supreme Court to see what really happened, and then let's let the House decide.
It's very important to me that the laws in this country are followed, and we have laws regarding the election. And I want our politicians to know that we are holding them accountable to follow those laws.
And I love this country. I served in the military for 23 years, and this is something that is important to me.
I love my country, and I love everything it stands for.
To stand up for America and for these people trying to steal our election and our country and sell it to other countries just for their own selfish gains.
I am here today for our freedom, and I am marching for my children and my grandchildren so they can grow up in a free country like I did. Great. And I love my country.
America, we're not willing to give up these things. We're willing to be here to fight and stand
for the things that are important to us, not just for us, but for our children and our grandchildren. America will end what we've known as America if we don't stand and fight for this nation. Our forefathers did it. They fought and died. You know, what's it cost us besides come out here and support something that we believe in, a cause?
You're going to see more Americans standing up because we believe in the good old USA. We believe in the traditional, we're not for socialists, and we will fight it. We've been fighting it for the whole 245 years the United States has been.
Just to protect our democracy. I mean, we just need to, people need to stand up right now. This is, I mean, it's plain as day what's being done, and it's unacceptable.
I wanted to come and show my support for President Trump. This is the time and the place that we need to stand up and
for honesty.
We need to make sure that we have integrity in our elections in this country. That is the only way we will stay a free and prosperous nation.
And you know, we believe in this country and we don't want to see it go down. We will not tolerate any type of fraud or any type of lies against our democracy. We're fighting for our future.
And I really feel like we should be happy living here for the rights that we do have in comparison to other countries who are really actually oppressed.
And all we're fighting for is, actually we're fighting for everybody's freedom. That's what we want, just freedom, fair elections, the way the country is supposed to run.
We support freedom, and we support Trump because he represents freedom. America is the land of the free, and we are free to elect our president.
We came over here, first of all, to show support for our president, but most importantly for our country. And we're just trying to keep our republic the way it is. I mean, this is one nation, you know, that it's always been free, and we want to keep it that way.
Protect the president, you know. They're trying to steal the election, you know, and dead people voting. So we're here to protect the president, protect our democracy.
I used to work here in the swamp about 20 years ago. And I've been trying to wake people up for a long time about how corrupt the media is, how corrupt politicians are, and no one would listen. And now and finally, because of Donald Trump, they're waking up.
People woke up and they saw what was happening to this country, and they see what else is going around in this world, and we're not going to stand for it. That's why we have our Second Amendment and our First Amendment, and they're trying to take away our First Amendment, and it's not going to happen.
I believe in the Constitution, and I think Trump is an advocate of the Constitution, and that's shown with his Supreme Court justices that he's nominated.
I'm here to promote unity among all people because I feel like the left is trying to promote diversity by trying to divide us on one side or another and bring up race in every situation. Race isn't the problem. It's the politicians trying to take over and act like we're just, you know, like lab rats. We need to stand up for what's right, bring everybody back together, and unite as Americans as one people.
We're here today to support our fellow patriots and all Americans and actually people around the world. We believe in freedom and equality, and we want it to be peaceful.
And we're also here to show America that we are peaceful. We are protesting, but we're not burning down, we're not looting, we're not hurting our police officers who are here to protect us. We just want what's right.
We don't want to be. The people there have no freedoms. I hear about, you know, Christians over there have to do everything in secrecy and stuff to be caught.
Oh, we don't want socialism, no. My family comes from Cuba. You know, I was always taught about socialism and communism, and it doesn't work. Look at Venezuela right now. They're eating out of garbage cans.
I think capitalism's really good. My mom is an immigrant. She's a legal immigrant, and she came from a country that doesn't have as many rights as America.
We're Vietnamese American. We're families of immigrants. We know what it's like living under communism, and we don't want that for this country. Our parents don't want that. Our grandparents don't want that. So they can't be here, so we're here to represent for them.
My family came here from, we escaped communism in Vietnam. My parents were in the war, and so I'm fighting what my parents fought for.
Communism isn't the best, neither is socialism. It just breeds people who are lazy and live off the system.
He stands for America first, not like the New Order. They believe in socialism and that everybody should be the same when we're not all the same.
You know, all the Democrats stole it, and they're tied in with the globalist elitist who's also running China. Coronavirus, the pandemic, it's not a real pandemic, and it was only made to take over the world, not just America, the world. Try to get that one world government on the way, and you know what? It's not going to happen. No way.
They want to shut down the country and, and take control of the people and, destroy businesses for no reason. It's ridiculous.
We come from a country where it used to be communism there. We know how it is to rig the election and push people to vote only for the people that they want to, or rig it, as they did here. And the whole world looks to the United States as the fair country and as a leader in the world. And if such a thing happens here, imagine how other countries will follow up and follow for this path that they are taking now. We're not worried about now, we are worried about the future of this country, because if the elections are going to be accepted rigged, then the future for our kids, for ourselves, will not going to be good.
It is the culmination of a fight between good and evil. That sounds like too much. But that's, if you boil it down, that's what I believe it is. Between people who just want freedom of faith, freedom of work, have small government, and on the other hand, people who want big government, who want to dictate what they want. What's happening here, it goes beyond Donald Trump. It goes even beyond America. What happens here today impacts France, impacts Europe, impacts the whole world.
It's like the Communist Party is trying to move into America, and we won't stand for it. We'll fight to the death to prevent it.
Fake news! 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 Fake news!
We're a good country. People just don't see it because of the media. Well, I want to tell them that they don't believe everything you see. There's always an underlying story to it and reasons why they cover things up.
I'm just here to support him with that, because they're all silencing him and they're silencing us, and I've had my own stuff censored, my own pages censored, and but there's so many connections people need to make and wake up, and I hope that this is the beginning of the awakening.
I think the media just needs to pay attention to what's important, like the voter fraud, and actually acknowledge it.
We're just here to show our support, that our voices be heard, that we're, to show the media and everybody else that we do exist, we do have a voice, and all we want is a fair election.
And I think this crowd is a testament to the fact that we will not be ignored, and we will make sure that our voices are heard and that we stand up for what is right and what is necessary to make sure that the United States stays free and that we have a fair election process.
The media just needs to actually have unbiased sources and not believe everything that they see on TV. A lot of the narrative in the media has been skewed to one side, which is completely biased, and to get a full spectrum and a full accumulation of knowledge, you need to hear from both sides equally to make your own perspective accurate as possible.
And oftentimes we see in other countries a much freer press now than we see here. The corruption is beyond even what President Trump has exposed, and it needs to stop. We can make our minds up for ourselves.
And I want to say thank you for you, because the independent media like this right here is the way it's going to go, because the mainstream media was under Operation Mockingbird, and they all say the same thing. They think they can control us, and you know what? Our minds are free. Our minds are free, and so are our hearts.
He was leading our country in the right way, in the right direction.
Trump has kept every promise he made, and so you have to honor a person that does that keeps his word. One of the only ones that have done everything he said he would.
He did everything he said he was going to do 4 years ago and more, and he's trying to protect our country, and he is loves everybody and supports freedom of speech, of religion, of everything.
Unemployment has been really low. He's helped the Latino community. He's helped the Black community. Everything that he said he was going to do, he promised to do. He did it all.
And it was Trump that brought me back around to the conservative values. So I guess he has a special place in my heart, because he really changed my life in a lot of ways. So.
I'm going into the Air Force, and Joe Biden doesn't know where he is half the time, and it's very scary to me as a veteran who will be. It's very scary for someone who doesn't know where he is half of the time to be the commander-in-chief of the United States.
He's the first president in, I think, 30, maybe 40 years who has started no wars.
That's why he's nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, I believe, is because he didn't start any wars. And he's the first president to really get troops out of the Middle East. So he's pulling us out of places that we don't belong, that we shouldn't be in. He's promoting more of like American values, like a return from why are we out in Iraq, why are we in Afghanistan for all these years? Like, let's bring it back and take care of like the people here.
And I support President Trump, and he's the most pro-life president we've ever had.
And he doesn't support aborting babies full term, which he tried to pass that law, which he, at least when they're born full term, they have to keep them alive, which the Democrats want to kill them, which I found out 2 weeks ago. I thought it would be the first trimester, but I found that they can actually have a full-term baby, which is so disgusting to me.
I also am pro-life, but I'm scientifically pro-life because of the media pushing the abortion agenda, and I also do like how the economy is doing really well under Trump in comparison of Joe Biden, and how he has put so many generations of black men in jail for the crime bills.
Because he wants to put people to work. That's my primary reason. Less regulation. I'm a native Texan. I don't believe in taxes, and the state can run itself. We don't need help from everyone else. Therefore, we have a very low tax base because we don't need the money. I believe the federal government should reflect that. And the federal government does not need to do all of everything for us. We're big people. We can take care of ourselves. Be responsible. Take care of your children. Take care of your family. I don't need a government to tell me how to do that.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I think he's challenging the establishment that we have.
When he said he was going in to drain the swamp to expose them for what they are doing, he exposed them. He has exposed them, and he's going to continue to expose them. And that's the reason they fought him tooth and nail on everything that he's done, is because he is exposing all of them, not just one particular party. He's exposing all of them, and he has opened it up to where the public can see. He's opened it up to where we see what is really going on behind closed doors, and you know, and that's what this nation wasn't built upon, socialism or communism or anything like that. And that we're free, and that's the reason people want to come here. And you know, we welcome people here, and we want people here because we are in a free country, and we want everybody to experience the freedom that we have here, because it's the greatest thing you'll ever experience.
I love President Trump because he's fighting for the rights of the unborn, and he fights for all people, and we want to keep our republic in this country.
For one thing, he's a great president. He's done so much for the United States.
I think he's an amazing president. I think he's the best president. He takes care of Americans. Americans first.
He is the best president we've had in a long time.
He's one of the greatest presidents that the United States has had in a long time. So I wanted to support him.
To support our president because he won.
I support our president. He won this election.
To support our president, the vote was stolen. He deserves to be in the White House. This man took so much money from communist China and does not deserve to be in the White House. He doesn't even know where he is.
We're here to support Donald Trump. We believe he should be the next 45th president of the United States. We believe he won the election, that it was just stole from him.
I'm here to back my president and exactly what he said, to show support that it's not over yet, so don't give up on him, and we're here to let him know to not give up, because we have his back 100%, and we'll fight tooth and nail for him.
I just feel his heart. I love his heart.
And I believe with all my heart, God put President Trump in there. And that's my belief, and I believe he'll be our president for the next 4 years. God will see it. He's God's man for God's plan.
I'm supporting our President Trump, as I truly believe this country is God's blessed with us with this freedom, and it's what worth fighting for.
I was paralyzed from the neck down. God healed me, and I know the power of God, and we are going to crush China.
I'm a black woman, but that's not who I am first. I'm a Christian, and I support what is right. I support what is just. I support what the president is doing, and I believe that there's a reason that he's in office, and it's not over yet.
We hope that the truth will come out, and that Trump will be re-elected again.
And he deserves it, because he's done so much for this country.
He's the true president. He's still the president until January, and if it goes through the courts and it comes out that he is, they find that he's still the president, still the president.
With the power of Trump, he's able to, defeat them, and I'm sure in December he's going to be announced a new presidency, so I'm excited for that.
people from different backgrounds that do support him.
Yeah, we met people from California, North Carolina, Florida. We met so many people yesterday just walking around.
We are here to support President Trump, and we just want a fair and equal election. Right. So we're here to march for freedom and to enjoy our president.
I'm here to fight for the president.
To represent, show support to the fraud that's for Trump, and speak out on the fraud that's going on. Our voices are heard, we're here, we're present, we're loud.
So we're here to support Donald Trump, and we're here because we want free and transparent elections.
I came here to show support for Trump. I came here to fight for freedom.
I came here for the Millie MAGA March, support our president.
For the Millie MAGA March, to support Trump.
I just support Trump and everything that he stands for.
And I'm just here to support our president and pray for him and see what happens in our future here.
Where do you come from?
France. I was born in America.
Okay.
And so I flew to vote in person and drove 20 hours to be here today.
My nationality is Albanian, but we lived for over 20 years in Michigan. And we're U.S. citizens, and we voted for Trump.
We're here to support Trump with my 9-year-old son here.
Hi, sweetie. What's your name?
Michael.
4 more years, just like they're saying, 4 more years. That's right. Keep this country free, save our constitutional republic.
And I'm just here trying to show my support for our president. Our president now and our president in 4 years. Donald J. Trump.